Where did I put the survey link? There it is. Okay, now it's working again. Bro, chat. I don't know what the heck is going on with this thing. Okay, chat. Let's go over the JP survey. So, this is the first one, I think, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first one where we actually go like, we actually have to like go through the web portal, like on the Aniplex of Japan site, which is definitely nice. I actually like really like that they did this, because this is how like they should be operating all this stuff from now on. Like, so we get 4 summon tickets for it. You have until March 3rd, so you guys have plenty of time. Please tell me your age. Don't ask. Please tell me your gender. I'm one of the others. Please tell me your prefecture. Which prefecture is the United States of America? Just double checking. Yeah, it's Tokyo. Now we're renaming prefectures. Yes. All right. What's your occupation? I'm a full-time housewife, house husband. I wish. Let's see. Company employee / civil servant, company officer, self-employed freelance, elementary or junior high school students, part-time temporary, full-time housewife, and unemployed and others. Bro, I want to know how many people check this. I really want to know how many people check the unemployed. Please tell us how much time you spend using your smartphone or tablet per day on weekdays and holidays for purposes other than work or school, aka playing. On weekdays for purposes other than school or work. I mean, it's probably there. Like, I mean, shit. Like, just from stream alone, that covers several of those hours. That's weekdays. And then holidays. Holidays is definitely less. Holidays, it's like 1 to 2 hours at worst. How much time you use a PC? It's happening, chat! It's happening! Oh my god! I can't believe this is the first time I've ever seen this question. I mean, they may have asked before, but like, I don't ever remember seeing them asking about PC. So, yeah, I hope. Listen, you can say copied Genshin all you want. I don't give a fuck as long as like we do it, because it's such a good idea. But yeah, they really should. They really should do a PC client. However, the way you're going to do a PC client is by having an actual login. So NA, what the fuck are you doing? Aniplex of America, give us the website already. Good God. I know it takes time. I know it's not easy, but y'all slacking at this point. Whoever's in charge of that shit needs a swift kick in the pants. Like, holy crap. All right. How much do you use PC per weekdays and holidays other than for work or school? Boom. I mean, yeah, no, it's still that. Holidays, PC use. I think this really depends on the holiday. I'm going to say it's like maybe 2 to 3 hours. How much do you spend on hobbies per month? Oh, bro, you gonna ask me that? How much of that do you spend on smartphone games? Well, let's see. What's the current value of the yen? 1 yen is equal to 65 hundredths of a cent. So, at 100,000 yen, it's equal to $650. Amount spent on hobbies. Did they say per week? No, per month. $650 per. Probably somewhere in this range. This month, definitely over 100,000. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Of that amount, the amount spent on smartphone games. Let's put a higher number. Honestly, I don't spend on hobbies per month. No, the hobbies is probably somewhere in like this range, maybe this range. I don't know. And then I think I could say like smartphone is like that much. Smartphone is like the vast majority of it. Please select all media and services that you regularly use. Right? Yep. I like, dude, the fact that there's no official Discord for this game is so trash. I really, really want them to do an official Discord just to kind of take the wind out of the sails of the quote unquote Reddit cord that, again, for years has been touting themselves as like pseudo official. They're not even in the slightest. And there's a whole bunch of egos and stuff involved in that just makes me want to see it get knocked down a peg. So, yeah. Let's see. Blah 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 blah. I really like don't use TikTok. I obviously watch the occasional TikTok, but I can't say that like I regularly use it. I don't even know what Mixi is. I definitely don't use Blue Sky. In fact, I don't really know anybody even talking about Blue Sky anymore. Threads, God, that's a blast from the past. I assume Threads is just actually dead at this point. And I guess like other social networks I can check on, but video distribution and sharing services, I definitely use YouTube. Nico Video, no. Amazon Prime Video, do I regularly use it? I think I can say yes to this, but it's not regular. It's just kind of regular. Now, this is funny because I canceled. I don't remember if I told chat this, but I canceled my Netflix subscription because they announced that they were going to increase the price of Netflix for like the second time, like the second year in a row. And I was like, nope, you can go get fucked. I'll just pirate your stuff. I'm tired of like paying for basically no value at all. So I just canceled it and said, to hell with it. I've already watched just about everything I want to watch on there. So maybe when they start adding actual stuff that I care about, then I'll resubscribe. Disney Plus apparently lost 700,000 subscribers in this last quarter. So I don't think things going too hot for them at this point. I used to use Hulu way back in the day, but I don't use it anymore. I think it's just going to be this other. I literally canceled mine too. Yeah, it's like it's getting too much, and the fact that they keep trying to like shove ads and stuff now just makes me go like, no. YouTube Live, Twitch. They realize Twitch exists. Chad, I think I need to use twit casting at some point. Game related services. App media. Interesting. I'm going to say other gaming related sites. Because remember, this is for JP, so they're not going to ask you about like fandom. Because I don't think any of the Japanese players use fandom. Ebook services and manga apps. Nope. Music apps and services. Nope. Like, bro, I like YouTube Music. What even is that? I just watch shit on YouTube that may or may not be music. But like I don't even use Spotify anymore because I got tired of my Spotify account constantly getting hacked. So I just deleted it. Become a novelist. So obviously there's going to be some translation issues with some of this, so I just choose not to pay too close attention to that. All right, we're 20% of the way done. For those of you that answered YouTube, here's a question. What kind of videos and features on YouTube do you get information about games from? Real-time viewing of official game maker and title broadcasts. I sometimes do. Real-time viewing of commentator individual live broadcasts. Yeah, I sometimes do for FGO. Videos posted by game makers, titles, including archives. Yep. Commentators, individuals posted videos, including archives. You know, I'm not sure at this point what they mean by commentators. Are they meaning like a content creator? I think they are. All right, sweet. So you know what I'm gonna do? Chat. The true answer here. So let's answer how the actual truth right now. So yes, I watched that community post from the official game maker account. Sure. Commentators individual community posts. Yes. Shorts posted by the official game maker account. No, I can't say I've ever seen a video game official account produce shorts. They usually just put out a normal video. Commentators individual short submissions. This I have. Hardware manufacturer information announcement videos, Nintendo Direct, State of Play, Xbox Game Showcase. Sure. So this is the true answer. Now behold, chat. As I uncheck the two that are official game maker. Why am I doing this? I do watch these. I'm unchecking it because I'm trying to put pressure on them. I want them to realize this is such an important thing. And so I'm unchecking to make it seem like I don't watch their official shit. I only watch content creators. That's what I want them to think, because holy crap, Aniplex needs to pull their head out of their ass and actually start supporting content creators like every other video game does at this point. I cannot imagine why they still think this is a good idea to just completely ignore the content creation sphere unless they're angry and want to DMCA people. Please tell us what home game consoles and PCs you currently own. Okay. So, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4. You know what? No, I'm unchecking the PlayStation 4. So I own a PlayStation 4. However, I'm tired of them constantly launching shit for like the PS4 because that's what they actually built the game on and optimized it for. I'm fine with stuff being available on the PlayStation 4. What I don't like is that they keep releasing PlayStation 4 games and not PlayStation 5 games. That is to say, it's developed for and on the PlayStation 4, and you're just trying to basically upscale it to the 5, rather than it being the other way around. This is a problem, I think, for Fate when it comes to video games. Most of their video games aren't AAA quality caliber at this point. I really liked Samurai Remnant, but Samurai Remnant was just the best of the Muso games that they've released. They need to start developing more than just Muso games for Fate. It's really sad, and I feel like they're totally screwing themselves by not doing so. Allow me, chat. This is actually insane, but let me go pull it up. And I don't know how many of you guys know this. Give me a second. It's going to take me a second to actually get to it. Yeah, okay, here we go. Why is this so loud? I don't know why, but this song is really loud all of a sudden. Okay. So chat, I don't know how many of you guys knew this, but behold. Anyone know what this website is? This is the 15th anniversary website from back in 2020, which, ooh, that means we're coming up on the 20th anniversary. Interesting. Anyways, this was the 15th anniversary for Fate Stay Night. And they put out a website congratulating them and everything and like doing this. They had Brain. They had Takeuchi do a bunch of like fantastic art for it. But they also put up congratulatory messages And this is an interesting thing because there's a ton of messages here. And you might be surprised at some of the people that are actually here. So the first ones are the VAs. But then you have, again, like the director of Atlas, Aniplex, Vanillaware, Kadokawa, Good Smile, a novelist that's worked for them, Square Enix, Studio Dean. But there's a really fucking interesting one here. A really fucking interesting congratulatory message. Because this man grew up playing the Fate games, the Fate visual novels, and he loves them. And he actually has admitted that they influenced him in his design for his games. So if you guys were playing through Elden Ring and you noticed some similarities to Fate and some of the things in Fate, that's not a coincidence. That's because Miyazaki loves Fate. Like literally, Lena in Shadow of the Erd Tree is derivative of Saber. It is a thing on purpose. The fact that we haven't cashed in on this, the fact that Nasu hasn't gone up to Miyazaki and said like, yo, bro, you like my shit. I like your shit. What if I'm your J.R.R. Martin, right? Like, and I write the story for your next Souls-like game? Is just like wild to me. These two love each other's products and they have never collabed. And I'm like, why? It's such a like easy win. Bloodborne takes things from Tsukihime? Yeah, 100%. So it's like, I'm really surprised that we haven't gotten a Fate Souls-like, because it's wild to me at how much they both glaze each other. They love each other's products. Again, Nasu's always talking about how he wants to take off to play Dark Souls. So it's like, I'm surprised they haven't actually cashed in on this. Stop like trying to do your little in-house projects and go get an actual critically acclaimed developer that has won Game of the Year multiple times now to develop your next game. That is a home run. That is how you put Fate back on the map. Similar to having UFO Table do any of your anime series, getting Miyazaki to develop your next video game is an instant I win button at this point. So it's like, it's just wild to me that they haven't done it. But yeah, that's the thing. So when it comes to video games, it's like I said, I like Samurai Remnant, but holy crap, Fate can step it up, because even as much as I like Samurai Remnant, it's still a relatively rudimentary game. And I'm not talking about the combat. I'm talking about everything in between the combat. It doesn't really feel like they pushed the envelope with. Aren't some of the Fate games like Dynasty Warriors playstyle? That's Muso. So if you hear me calling a game a Muso game, that's a Dynasty Warriors style game. And that is unfortunately like all the Fate games basically are nowadays, because some of the older ones have never really seen newer iterations. Like we had things like Unlimited Codes and stuff that were basically a pseudo fighting game, but we haven't really had anything newer than that. Fate should just copy the Atlas template. So funny you say Atlas, because you saw one of the very first congratulatory letters was from Atlas. So it's like, yeah, you could do another one right there. Get Atlas, instead of making Metaphor 2, to make, literally a Fate version of one of their JRPGs. Boom, there you go. And people would fucking eat that up. Like, do it in the typical Atlas art style. Let Nasu write the story. Match made in heaven. People would go ape shit for it. So it's like, I don't understand. Like, he's super connected, and I'm like, bro, please just like try to get one of your friends to work with you. Because again, I feel like it'd be super good for them to do it. What the heck is Studio BB doing by this point? Right. And that's like, honestly, Samurai Remnant is the best game that they have made in recent memory. And I think it's obvious why. It's a game that they actually relied on an external studio that is known for good products. So it's like, yeah, I think that's a showing that, hey, Type Moon is really busy and doesn't necessarily have the time to do all of the developmental work themselves. They just need to act as an advisor to an actual AAA dev making the product. And I think that's the best thing that they can do. So they write the story, they let the dev handle all the game development side of things, though. Extra Record was announced in what, like 2019, almost 6 years now? Yeah, so I don't know. They definitely got to get off their ass and do it. But I've been talking about this for a while that, like, Fate needs a win, like the IP itself, because I think, unfortunately, at this point, you know, obviously our generation, like the millennials and stuff, and even I think the tail end of the Zoomers, or sorry, the like beginning of the Zoomers, have heard of Fate and like Fate. But I think the younger Zoomers and now even like the youngest generation have either just never heard of Fate, or anything that they have heard has been bad. So I think it's like Fate needs a new hit anime, Fate needs a new AAA game, and I think if we get those, it'll put Fate back on the map and it'll really help the popularity of this IP. And I think it can get those. But like, I look at something like Strange Fake and I look at the release schedule that they're trying with Strange Fake, whatever the fuck it is, if you can even call it a release schedule, and I go like, you're just screwing the pooch at this point. Like, I don't understand how things are kind of going, in the sense that it feels like everything just keeps falling apart right in front of our eyes, and they need to do a better job of it. Are we accounting Sam Rim being a development as far back as Vegas Summer? So year 4 of FGO? No. Why would I need to account for any of that? Fate is not a back burner IP, no. Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, Fate needs to actually, like, kind of flex its muscle a little bit again and put something out there. Because I think there are a ton of people interested in this IP in Japan alone. Like, even if we don't talk about, like, the greater global audience and stuff, Japan alone, if you did a collab between Atlas and Nasu, or between FromSoft and Nasu, it would immediately just like light everyone up. Everyone would be like, oh my god, this is a thing, it's happening, like, and it would be the talk of the town for a while. Never used in any media ever, right? Okay, so let's keep going. I don't have a VR headset. I do have a Nintendo Switch. This is going to be an interesting one. Xbox Series X and S I don't have. I don't have a Steam Deck. I do have a Windows PC. I'm just going to say this. Please keep putting more games on Steam. There we go. Please list all the methods you have used to purchase games within the past year. Okay, I gotta think about this. I definitely haven't purchased one on Amazon. I definitely haven't purchased one on an e-commerce site other than Amazon. I definitely haven't purchased one on DL site. I definitely haven't purchased one on DNM. Definitely not the Epic Game Store. I have not purchased anything on the Microsoft Store. I have certainly played games when I had the Game Pass for free. Have I purchased something on the PlayStation Store in the last year? I feel like the answer to that is yes, but I don't remember what. The only reason to have Epic is for the free game every week. Listen, this is going to sound awful, but that's exactly why I don't have Epic. You can't bribe me to get on their shit service, and I would 10 times rather pay for a game than get it for free. I'd rather support the game than ever, like, get on Epic service. It'd probably be an FGO major player base increase, right? Yeah, I'm just trying to think, like, if I purchased anything in the last year. Let me double check real fast. Bro, I'm not buying Civ 7 for PlayStation. What the shit? Oh yeah, I bought Stellar Blade. And I think Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So I did. I did buy some on the PlayStation Store. Steam, definitely. I have purchased something in the Nintendo eShop. I have not done Xbox Game Pass. And chat, I'm going to say, unless you want their products to appear on these two, don't check it. So, I mean, maybe some of you guys want to pay for a subscription service, but I sure as fuck don't. I have not purchased a single game in a retail store in the last year. Character limit exceeded. Okay. Which app, other than Fate Grand Order, you have played for more than a month in the last 6 months? Arknights, nope. Identity V, I have no idea what that is. I've never even heard of that. Azure Lane, nope. Ensemble Stars, nope. eFootball, nope. Infinity Nikki, nope. Uma Musume, nope. I keep seeing people trying to glaze Uma Musume coming out here soon. I don't really give two shits about it. Only I Level Up Arise, never heard of it. School Idolmaster, Mushroom Legend, Grand Blue Fantasy, Genshin Impact, Love and the Deep Sky, Knives Out, Call of Duty Mobile. Ah, yes, Call of Duty. No. Compass Battle Analysis System, Mahjong Soul, Jujutsu Kaisen Fantasy or Phantom Parade. God, of course they're trying to milk Jujutsu Kaisen. There's not even that many characters yet to make a gacha game out of. What the shit, people? Goddess of Victory, White Cat Project, ZZZ, Disney's Twisted Wonderland, Doll's Frontline 2. So this is Girls Frontline 2, but they changed the name. Did I play it for a month? I think I did. I think I can basically say that. And that's it. I don't play any other titles. Please tell us the home video games and PC games you have played within the past year. Elden Ring. Hear me out, chat. This is my psyop. I've certainly played more than Elden Ring. I've certainly played a ton of other stuff. But I'm only going to answer Elden Ring. Just so that they actually think about that. You know what? I'm even going to add this in. Please collaborate with Miyazaki-san. Please select all that apply to what you are looking for in a smartphone game. Yes, I want stress relief. I want to feel a sense of accomplishment. I want to be excited. I mean, I don't want to use my head. I want to escape from everyday life. I want to feel refreshed. I want to be healed. I need that sexual healing is what I need. I want to kill time. So I'm not going to answer this because I don't want my time wasted. Again, if you're somebody that has a buttload of time on your hands and you want to spend all the time you can playing FGO, then you can answer this one. But for me, I don't want my time wasted. I'm fine with the current status of the game and like how much time it takes up. If it starts to take up too much time, that'll become a problem. So I really don't want them to go beyond how they already operate. Go with family, friends, and colleagues. I think this is fine. Because again, this could be like co-op is a way to think about this. You got to think about like what each of these would apply to in terms of like what is this that they would implement in order to fulfill this. So I want to win the competition. Don't answer this unless you want leaderboards, player ladders and rankings and PvP and stuff like that. I want to immerse myself in the story. I want to interact with other players in the game. I think this is fine. I want to feel the excitement. Sure. I'm not sure how that's different from I want to be excited, but, you know, Google Translate. So I want to enjoy the strategy of the game. You can definitely do this. I'm going to check it off, but like if you're someone that maybe doesn't want like challenge content in the game, I could say like, yeah, maybe don't check this. I want to have a simulated experience. I'm not sure what this one is. I think this is just like maybe like I want it to be immersive. I don't know. I think when in doubt, just don't check it off. I want to be moved. I assume this is like emotions. I want to express myself. Sure. I want to feel superior. So this is another interesting one. I'm going to say this could lead to like, hey, kind of like the competition one where it's like PvP and like competing against other players. This I want to feel superior could be interpreted that way, but I'm not sure. It may come down to the actual like kanji that they used. I want to be surprised. Sure. I want to experience the charm of the characters. Yes. I want to be a resident of that world. I would never check this off for Warhammer. I want to enjoy trendy things. I think this one's also important because this tells them, hey, I would like your game to be like other games. So I think this is also a good idea. And then like anything else that you feel free to add, but I think that covers most of that. How do you normally get information about smartphone games? Game apps that please select all. Okay, game apps that can be played on iPhone, iPad, and Android. How do I normally get my info? Social media, Line. No, I don't use Line. Timeline and official account, sure. Social media, Discord. Social media, other. YouTube game commentary. Live broadcast. Twitch. So you guys can see, like, there's the truthful answers, and then there's how I'm going to answer the survey because it's how I want them to perform. So it's like, I could answer more of these to some degree, but I'm not going to. Web game strategy and review site. Game-related information site. Don't really use bulletin boards. I don't like. I'm sorry, but if you get your information from an app store ranking in the app store, what the fuck are you doing? Game related informations, magazines, no. I mean, like, we get Famitsu in the game, but I can't really say that like I read Famitsu. We just go to look at it for like the one time that they do the interview in Famitsu. I could say this because I think it's true. I think word of mouth is really strong. When you watch official live game broadcasts or programs, how do you usually watch them? I have to watch it in real time while it's being broadcast. I sometimes watch in real time, but I often watch archives. Watch archive only. Okay, chat. 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 You can only select one of these. Allow me. This is the one you need to select. Right here. What does this answer do? This tells them that you still watch it in real time sometimes. So in other words, keep doing your live broadcasts. Don't just ditch them. But I often watch archives. This tells them that you want the archive of the live stream, which is actually a good thing because apparently my understanding is a lot of the live streams, they don't archive after the fact. They kind of lock it and make the video go bye-bye. So I think they need to change that. I think that's really fucking stupid how they do that. And I think this is the better answer. Otherwise, the truth here is actually this one. I almost never watch archives, but I don't like the fact that they have the archives locked down for when you would want to reference them for any way, shape, or form. So yeah, they need to actually start doing archives, and you could answer this if that's what you wanted, but I think this basically tells them, hey, stop doing live streams. We only want to watch a pre-recorded video, which isn't true. So I think like I'm going to go with the middle option there. Please select it all that apply to what prompted you to download a smartphone game. Found out through X. Found out on Discord. So you could answer like, hey, if you want more TV commercials, you could say this. I don't really care if they run TV commercials or not, but it's more of a thing over in Japan than it is here. The advertisement in magazines? No. I think watch family, friends, and colleagues playing is a thing. I like the anime and manga on which it's based. She got the pre-registration campaign. Oh, so this is it. There you go. It started with influencers such as VTubers and YouTubers. Now I'm going to uncheck all of these. Because they put this line in here, this is literally the only line I'm going to respond with. It's not the truth, but again, I'm trying to create that pressure so that, dear God, they actually start to realize this is a much bigger thing than they think, and they actually start to lean into it. Because the fact that they're not is just wild to me at this point. Please start investing in content creators. I mean, this is like me scratching my own back when I say that, but you can't blame me, chat. Why did you start playing Fate Grand Order? I always loved the Fate series. Saw it being talked about on X. My family, friends, and colleagues were playing. Watch official live broadcasts. It all started with influence. There you go. I get to switch to that again. So I believe in the past that I've put in lines about art because, chat, I shit you not, the story of how I began to play Fate Grand Order was I saw a very NSFW artwork of Lartoria. So at the end of the day, art is a very important thing. So in the past, I've answered art, but this is the first time that response, the influencers line, has ever been on here. So we're going to go with that. When did you start playing Fate Grand Order? Let's see, what time would this be? Be right here. Because I didn't start playing JP until I think it was like year 3. But basically I started playing NA. I think it was like October of 2017. From what media do you normally get information? Okay. Wait, hold on. Let's just scroll down. All right, I'm not seeing that. Okay. So X notices from the management both on the official website and in the game. I mean, I really don't look at the official website, but sure. I do get it sometimes from in-game. So chat, I don't actually ever get a damn thing from this, but I'm still checking it off because this is a good thing that they do, and they need to keep doing it. I don't know that I care about either of these. Like, I obviously like Rio's art style. I think we'll check learning through manga, but I wasn't even aware that they were producing videos for this. And I think it's like they are, but they're extremely rudimentary videos being like, this is what an arts card does. And they don't even give you numbers or anything. It's like it generates noble phantasm. Like, yeah, I don't give two shits about the videos. Smart News Fate Grand Order channel, never heard of it. Line account, TikTok account, nope. They do have an official TikTok account now, which is pretty interesting. Other than official accounts, this is true. Discord, YouTube, live broadcasts other than the official live broadcast. A news site specializing in game information. This is actually not true. I never get information from a site Like it's always I go to the site after finding out from other places. Twitch. So I'm putting this in here because, chat, if you ever go and you watch something on Twitch, right? Like you'll notice how like certain games have how do I put this? Like certain games have like drops and stuff on Twitch. I think FGO could really benefit from that because here's the deal, okay? Do you know how drops work? Chat, drops literally don't I don't give two shits about what they give. But drops raise awareness for a game and increase the odds of a person checking out a game. That's why drops are important. Because it's a way to not only get your community engaged and, yeah, basically bribe them for attention, but it's also a way to make somebody that doesn't play the game aware of the game. And FGO at this point has a huge issue for that. The awareness over here in the West, probably at an all-time low. Most people basically haven't heard of it. So at this point, I think they really need to start looking into how can they expand globally rather than like in Japan, because Japan is relatively saturated for them already. They need to start actually investing in kind of growth overseas. And if they do that, it will really help them, I think. It'll also help combat some of the poor reputation that the game has. So they really need to start doing that. And I think you can start off with just giving away like drops and stuff like that on Twitch. It would be really, really smart of them to do that. What would the drops be? I mean, it could be something as stupid as like you get like a golden ticket for watching on Twitch. And you know, if there's any sort of currency attached, people would do it. It doesn't matter. You could give away commemorative craft essence. You could do like all sorts of stuff. What are your 3 favorite works in the Fate series? How do I click this 3 times? No, I'm just kidding. Really want to check this, but I'm really worried that if I check this, they're going to make another damn Muso game. I'm going to check it because I want to support like them making video games. But every fiber of my being is telling me not to. And yeah, I just did that. There's Rialta Nua right there for PC, PS2, Vita, smartphone version. But yeah, I just checked the OG Fate Stay Night. You know what? No, let's give him Rialta Nua. This will incentivize PC. Oh, wait. Is it 3 across all? Oh my god. Okay, never mind. Hold this thought. We're going to say this and this. And then I'm going to say this, chat. You know why I'm saying this. You know why. You know why. Give me a new version now. I don't know if it'll let me do this, but I'll try. You know what? No. I'm not asking. I'm not asking, chat. How often do you play Fate Grand Order? Less frequent. I like how you can't say every day, because that would be an addiction. You can only say almost every day. How many hours do you play Fate Grand Order in a day? I mean, honestly, I think the reality is somewhere in like one of these two. But yeah, I'm just checking that just to check that. Your favorite chapter in the main quest of Fate Grand Order? Ooh, from part 1 to part 1.5. And I can only pick one, can't I? Yes. Well, then it's easy. Because it's right there, bitches. I'm biased and I don't care. I'm allowed to be biased on this. for part 2 and onwards. Oh man, this is rough. I have recency bias for LB7, but I'm like, trying to debate, do I like LB6 or LB7 more? I think it is 7. I actually think it. I have too many issues with 6. I want 6 to be the best one, but I have too many issues with 6. My issues with 7 are that, like, I don't like some of the characters, but not because, like, they were written poorly. I don't like the characters because they were written well. Like, I like low-key hate some of them, and that's a good thing. It means that they were extremely well written and handled well. 6, I have issues with what it does to the lore, and I think that really is just something that I can't jive with, and I don't think I ever will be able to. No matter what, I'm always going to say that I have an issue with 6. So at that point, yeah, I think it's got to be Lost Belt 7. How do you feel about the story of Fate Grand Order? Please select all that apply. Scenario is more interesting than expected. Yeah, I still think this. Like, I mean, like, you could just be blasé and say it's as interesting as expected. I think we do expect it to be interesting, but I think I'm always surprised at, like, the depth to which they went, and I think I was really surprised about LB7 in that regard. There are a lot of scenarios. There are a few scenarios. That's, yeah, I'm sorry. This is the truth. There's too little story. And I don't mean that, like, oh, LB7 was too short. No, I mean we don't get LB7 often enough. That's my biggest issue. I want more scenarios. You can only type so much, and because it's Japanese, this is barely any room. How do you feel about the battles in Fate Grand Order? Please select all that apply. Difficulties of battles is just right. Like, again, I think your challenge crowd is going to go with this, and I'm just going to say no. Like, they need to stop, like, actually doing some of the, like, bloaty stuff that they do. But I don't think that that's, like, that crazy. On one hand, battles are really fast. On the other hand, battles can take a long fucking time. I think for the most part, especially as we've gotten away from the super recos, I'm okay with this. Battles take less time. Okay, so battle action is slow. Battle movements are smooth. The battles are exhilarating. This is another 3 set. I mean, I'm okay with that hentai, man. I assume this is more like the animations. And honestly, the battles are exhilarating. So I don't have any issues with that. There's a sense of accomplishment in battle. Feel the thrill of battle. Battles are linked to the story, making them immersive. Battles are tedious. Battles are boring. Battles feel like a chore. God, I feel like I could check all of this. I like that battles are linked to the story. I have to check this. I'm sorry, chat. But some of the challenge fights in the game, some of the challenge fights are fucking stupid. Like, they are a college thesis worth of effects rather than a simple but effective challenge. And I really just think that they feel like a chore at times. I think this is, like, way too much. I should not have to, like, go on a guide site and read what everything does, read what all the break bar effects are in order to properly kit out for the fight. And I get it. I think what they want you to do is they want you to go in, fail it, and come back and do it again. But I don't want to spend that time, so I don't bother to do that. So I think that's where it's like, yeah, I think, you know what? Well, I was gonna say, I guess I could call that tedious, but it's difficult because like I can't describe any of this in just the 50 characters. It's such a like rough thing. Like filling out this survey on an A will be easier because you'll have more room to type. But Japanese, you can get a lot done with very few characters, and so it's like I can't say a whole lot here because I'm typing in English. Also, stop doing force supports. I'm okay with force supports, but they do need to stop doing it so much, right? Like it was way too much in LB7. But I think it's like it's a-okay to have force supports every now and then, right? Like I think it's like there's a balance to it, and they just need to reach that. I think this is where like I come across on these is like moderation is key in all of this stuff. If you do it too much, it's way too overbearing. And this is where like again, I do think a lot of the challenge fights have been like this. But not all of them are. Some of them are very straightforward. And I'm not saying like every fight needs to just be a like LOL load up Musashi Berserker and 3 turn it. But I do think some of them are like way too like over the top with their gimmicks where it's like, oh, if you do this it activates this, if you do this it activates this, and actually this will chain into this and this and this and this and this and this and this, and then there's a break bar effect that does this and this and this and this and this, and then now you have to fight the second break bar as this and this and this and this. Like, no, dude, it's I freaking hate it. Like that's way too much at that point. I'm a-okay with there being a challenge, but there are ways to do challenges that are simultaneously simple but effective. And so I want to see more of that and less of a like I've got to jump through 50 different hula hoops in order to defeat the battle. They actually had 10-10-10 force support. It wouldn't be nearly as bothersome. IMO. Do agree with that. Okay, how do you feel about the number of servants implemented in Fate Grand Order? Oh boy, this is a rough question. So, chat, do you want more units in FGO? Like, do you feel the pace of unit release is just right, or do you want it to slow down? Do you want it to trend even and kind of be the same? Like, do you want it to increase? Do you want it to slow down, or do you want it to be the same? I think it's just right. I think if they start doing too much, this game is going to start to suffer from even more power creep. So it's like, I think the way it is, it's okay. Buff older banners as you bring out banners again. Yeah. A little low. I can agree to this. I can agree to this because they did slow down the rate of events. So I'll agree with that. Please choose one of the servants implemented in Fate Grand Order. I'm looking forward to the implementation. Okay, this is rough. I before in the past have said like the problem with this is that for years they started to ignore this. They started to just absolutely ignore this and just dump everything. So to me, this is the best. But last year, I actually did answer this because it's the truth of the matter. They went so hard into every servant being a new character that for a long period in time, like I said, we just didn't get any nostalgia. You didn't get any references back to old characters other than at like summer. And I think that's a problem because, like, again, I keep using like Nito Alter as the example of this, of how like you can come out with some of the like a different version of some of the fan favorites and people will love it. So it's like in the past, on the prior year, I answered that. I think I'm okay. I think I'll answer this, but this is the truth. Like, I want to see both new servants and new aspects of existing ones. When using servant pickup summon, please choose one thing that you are particularly concerned about. Servant pickup summon. So I guess they're meaning whenever you're gotching, please choose something that you're concerned about. I hate that there's no like other that I can type in here because I know exactly what I do. And I want to say this is how it was the year before. This is a fuck up. This is an actual survey fuck up. Like, I don't need to necessarily explain every single one of these, but the fact that they don't give you any line to explain why or any other thing that's not covered here is wild to me. Because you can work with your own formation. I assume this means a character that operates under their own power and doesn't necessarily need... Like, it could mean a solo character, or it could mean a character that's just relatively self-efficient. So, like, or self-sufficient. So, like, say, for instance, you could say, like, Tyra, who you could say is, like, a solo artist. Or you could say someone like, say, Lancelot, who is just an extremely self-sufficient character. So I'm not really sure what they're going with here, but I actually don't give two shits about that first one. Because the servant's abilities are high. Chat. Chat. I just want to say this. I hate any one of you that answers this. I hate any one of you that answers this. Because this is why the power creep has gotten bad. This is why you get a unit come into the game like Oberon, and Oberon just dramatically increases the overall damage output of the game. I get it, people like strong units, but if this is the only reason that you're rolling, you're dooming yourself to constantly just insane power creep and always having to roll meta and being a meta slave. So, yeah, just do me the favor, don't answer that one. Like, again, I think we all want our favorite servants to be strong, but God, that is not the reason that I roll. I want to increase my noble phantasm level. I mean, I also don't want to answer this one because while I do want to increase my noble phantasm level for some of my favorites, this is not the reason I normally roll. And I think this also gives them the idea that, like, you know, like that NP6 debacle and things like that. Just, yeah, no, I really don't want to. Because I like the voice, the visuals, and the settings. True. Absolutely true. The actual answer. Because it's a hot topic amongst my friends, chat, please also don't answer this. If you answer this, god damn, you gave into peer pressure. Like, holy shit. It's you're only rolling because all of your friends rolled too. That's all that is. So don't do that. Pickup summons have been added. This is the whale answer. This is the this is the Ash Ketchum gotta catch 'em all. It's like literally, oh, you added a new summon, therefore I roll. Which that's also just saying that they now have a license to print money with you. So yeah, no, this is the real one. This is the one that I want to see really emphasized by the developers, because I think it matters the most. None of the rest of these actually matter to me. I mean, obviously, to an extent, I do want the gameplay of the servant to be good, but it's 100% this. And I've rolled on many a unit that was not meta just because I liked them and thought they were hot. Please provide more. Oh, okay. Never mind. I take back what I said. I take back, chat. I did not see that they were asking. Okay, so that's on me. Though, to be fair, this is the first time they've done this in the entire survey so far. Noble Phantasm has special attack and would be useful in the content I wanted to clear. My favorite voice actor was in charge. My favorite illustrator drew it. The servant was announced at FES. I had decided to draw a servant in a swimsuit costume. How did they know? How did they know that it was me, chat? It was me all along. Okay, now, behold, chat. I like Artoria. I also like hot. No, how do I say this? How do I say this in a way that they'll understand? Mature women. There you go, chat. You have to use the forbidden word. Otherwise, they won't know true. I also like sexy, mature women. There you go. All right. I added the forbidden word for you. What was the best in-game event that Fate Grand Order held in 2024? Ooh. Okay. So the Samurai Remnant event, the Valentine's event, CBC, Maho no Tsukai, or sorry, Maho Tsukai no Yoru, which was the collab for Witch and the Holy Night. Chaldea's Summer Adventure. God, like I really did like the summer event, but they really fucked up the pacing of that event. Like it wasn't a bad idea, it was just poorly executed. Okay, so chat, you could answer this if you want to see more collabs. Sorry, not collabs, more reruns. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this was the rerun. This was the actual summer event. Very Sugoroku, I didn't care too much about. Destroy Mystery House Crafters, Star Miners, and Wings of Sunrise. Why am I drawing a blank on that? Van Gogh. Yeah, that's the Van Gogh mining event. Okay. The Christmas event. I mean, I liked the theme of this event, but a 7-day event is not going to get my vote. Like, especially when they hard fucked up all the messaging of the raids and all the issues that they had with it. That's a big nope from me. So yeah, I think this is the true answer is right here. It's Maho Tsukai. Like the Witch on the Holy Night collab was their best event by far. It gave me K&K vibes to a large degree, and you could tell they put their heart and soul into it. And they actually talked about that in a couple interviews, like just how much effort went into that collab event. So yeah, I think that was the best event that they ran last year, which is wild because normally I'm a sucker for answering like the summer event, but no, this one I think they whiffed on the summer event this year. 7-day event in 2024. What? Yep. What was the best thing about the event you chose the best one? So I don't want to answer this because the truth of the matter is I think the stories in FGO are getting too serious. And people argue with me on this all the time, but I think everything in FGO now is having to tie back to the main story directly. I think everything is having to be like lore driven and like really like over the top. And I feel like the relaxed atmosphere and the jovial atmosphere is mostly gone from a lot of these events. So I think they're getting too over the top with it. And I talked about this before, like, because I've talked about how some of the designs in FGO over the years have kind of changed. Where if you go back to like year one designs are intentionally sexy. Where like you can sit there and you can see that they have like just revealing parts of clothing and stuff. And I'm not talking like it's like over the top like Nikkei or anything like that. Just that like you can tell they really tried to make the characters appealing and really sell themselves. Whereas like now with some of the newer characters, it's not that they're not sexy, it's that it's toned down a lot and it really feels like they're trying to make everything as close to like reality and how it actually was comparatively. I do think they did a better job this year with that. However, I think that comes from the fact that so many of those events this year were collab events and reruns that harkened back to their old animation and design philosophies. So they were using characters that they designed originally to sell well, rather than some of these newer characters where they're trying to like do the best job with the character that they can
What's the difference there? Well, back then, they really wanted to sell that character. Now they know the game is profitable and successful, so they're not trying to sell the character as much. So they're now going more with their interpretation of the unit rather than what will actually like what will the community really like. So I think that consideration is kind of getting toned down in favor of doing what the writers and the artists want to do. And I think it's not good for the game long term. I think they're kind of forgetting to sell and market the game, and they're just kind of hoping that the brand sells itself. And they can do that, but I think it's like they need to go back to, hey, let's actually make the characters appealing in a lot of ways. Summer event was just story slammed together. Yeah, 100%. So it's like, because of that, I think you had the same issue with story and events. I think instead of making the events as entertaining as possible, they're now making the events as story centric as possible because it's what they want to do. And I'm not going to say it makes the event bad, but I am going to say that like the game is losing some of that like jovial nature that it really felt like it used to have a lot. So I don't really know, right? Like I kind of want them to go back to that. So I you know what, I actually don't know if the Witch and the Holy Night event had a bright and like jovial storyline, but I'll just go ahead and say that. Glad the story delved into my favorite characters. I mean, I can't say that they're my favorite characters, but this is something that I want stories to do. So I guess I'll check it. I was able to learn more about the world setting. Yeah, I think that's good. The unique gimmicks and systems of the event were interesting. Yes, this is also a good thing to have. The distributed servants were good. Ooh, this is a loaded word because does it mean like design or does it mean gameplay? Sure. Reinforcement materials were obtained. Yes, they were. I was able to get the costume unlocking rights. I don't even think there's a costume in the event, but I'm literally just gonna check all of these. I checked what I want an event to have. What new features were added in 2024 that you felt were good or convenient? Please choose 3 that apply from the following. So this is stupid, because if you want my actual feedback as to what's good and convenient, limiting my responses doesn't help. It doesn't get you the feedback that you're seeking, because I may choose none of these. I may wish to choose all of these. Added a display for secondary attributes. Heaven, Earth, Man, Star. God, yes. Modified the automatic formation so that you can choose between 2 types of automatic formation tendency. I don't care. I gotta be honest. I don't think that does much for me. And the limited time pickup summon, the appearance rate of 4 stars has been increased when there are 2 of them. Oh, fuck. You can't get me not to pick that one. I don't care what else is chosen here. That one will be one of the 3. Added enhance. When opening the servant detail screen from the party formation screen or party confirmation screen, you can now jump directly to various strengthening screens. That's actually a good thing. I can check this one off, but this is the weakest of the 3 right now. Added enhanced status and own status to the craft essence filtered settings. I don't give 2 shits about that because you could already sort by like literally level. So enhanced status is what it is. Added mana prism exchange, advanced C, campaign C, event summon C, event reward C, experience C to the type filter settings of the craft essences. No, I don't care about that. On the craft essence selection screen, craft essence chocolate return gift was previously displayed regardless of whether the filter setting was set to event reward craft essence or chocolate return gift, but has now been fixed so that it will only be displayed when chocolate return gift is selected. I mean, yeah, that's a good thing. but you couldn't pay me to check that because that's you fixing a problem that you created. Like, that's a bug fix. So I don't care. Added a function to the game options to reset all settings related to the ascension stages of all owned units to the default settings. I don't care about that. In the random ascension stage settings on the servant details screen, regardless of random ascension stage bulk settings set in the game options, you can now set the random ascension stage setting to on or off for each servant individually. So I think you could always do that, but there was a override for all servants, is what they're talking about. Now they're saying like, hey, that override won't override. It'll disregard any specific settings you set on a specific unit. That's a nice change. I don't care. Expanded the initial friend limit to 40 people. I don't think that matters at all. Added the ability to temporarily leave battle in the Olga quest. That's actually a good change, but we'll get into that when we get there, and it's not that big of an impact. Modified so that the target's attribute and secondary attribute can be checked from the details screen during battle. So I guess this is just not during battle, and then this one is during battle? Well then, fuck that. I'm unchecking this, and I'm putting it on this one. When resuming a battle after temporarily leaving in the Olga Marie quest, if you have a servant that is unable to be deployed or a craft essence that has been lost due to strengthening or selling set in your party, a dialogue will now be displayed indicating that the party configuration from the previous deployment cannot be saved. That is a stupid thing, and that is also a bug fix. Modified to allow for account linking with Aniplex Online. Oh, don't do me like this. See, this is why this is stupid that there's only 3. All right, we're unchecking this. I think that's huge. Sales of Saint Courts have begun on Aniplex Online using the account linking function. All right, I now get to uncheck this because I think that is also huge. Added a punctuation wait time option for the text display speed. You know what? No, fuck it, chat. They were gonna do that anyways. Nothing. Me saying that was a good thing is not gonna change anything. So, where was the other one? Yeah, the screen during battle. So this is the thing I want to emphasize: the account linking. I don't give 2 shits about this. It definitely saves me money, so I do like it. But like I said, they were going to do this anyways. Because this also gains them more money. Turtle power. Added a punctuation wait time option to the text display speed option of the game options, which allows you to set the wait time for punctuation marks and adventure parts in 4 stages. Sure. 2 new append skills have been added. Ha ha! Oh, no one's going to check that. No one will check this one. Holy shit. I cannot believe they actually put this in here. And the reason that I can't, this is actually an insult to everybody that this is here. It actually is. Because this was such a clusterfuck that they had to come out and publicly apologize and fix this. So the fact that they put this in are like, hey, was this a positive change? No, it fucking wasn't a positive change, you idiots. Why would you put this in here? This is asking for negative feedback. It's like rage bait. And again, like, overall, I actually don't think the 4th and the 5th append is a bad thing. It's just the way in which they did it that's the problem. Added links to quests to obtain strengthening reincarnation lines. Actually good. Actually good. And I am going to go and uncheck. I'm going to uncheck this one. This is actually a really, really awesome thing that they did. You know what? No. Even though it's an awesome thing, they've already done it, and there's not anything else that's going to do it. So I'm going to keep going back, and I'm going to say this, because what I want them to do with this, I want them to keep adding more. I really want this checked if I can help it. Command spell recovery speed changed from recover 1 stroke every day. So this was also a good change, but they've also done everything they can on this. They won't touch this ever again. Added a challenge button to some limited time missions on the master mission screen. I think this is just like, if there's a limited master mission, you can just like go right to it with this. Added a roadmap that shows at a glance the list of rewards that can be obtained when each chapter is cleared. This is a cool feature. It doesn't impact any veteran player of the game. Modified to allow transitions to achievable quests from the master mission limited screen. Same deal. The guaranteed summon of the limited time pickup summon has been modified so that the guaranteed summon will continue from the second summon onwards. Fuck! How? Why did you make it so I could only pick 3? Why? Why? I'm gonna uncheck the 4-star one, because this one is more important. And it's because it's like, I want them to understand that the pity system is kind of trash. And I'm not even going to talk about like the amount. I'm talking about the other functions of the pity system need to be improved. And that's why I really want to incentivize this one. This is a good change. 10 to 15 parties now that you can save. Expanded the number of servants and craft essence is also good. Increased the command code inventory. They really did a lot this year. They really did. Even I didn't remember all of these. The maximum number of storage slots that can be added by consuming mana prisms has been increased when using increased servant storage slots and increased craft essence storage slots. Yep, that's fine. That's also a normal thing. They do that every year. Added a function to display the possession status of 5-star servants in the lucky bag summon. Also nice. In quests where part of the formation is fixed, a dialog box will now be displayed on the formation screen that allows you to perform an automatic formation. Would have been nice for an A, but yes, like, this is also a nice thing. The amount of pure prisms that can be obtained as a reward for completing the main quest has been doubled. I didn't realize that. Maybe I did. Maybe we got a lump sum at one point and I just totally like glossed over it, thinking that it's like, oh yeah, new prism to pure prism exchange chalk reset. Ooh. So this is an interesting one. I'm sure a lot of people will say this is a positive thing. I think this is the one that's going to come back to bite them in the ass. Like long term, they're going to regret this one. Kind of like how I said that they were going to regret not capping the blue apples. This one, adding the ability to reset the mana, or sorry, the pure prism like stuff, is going to really hurt them, I think, in the long term, especially if they keep adding them. As long as they keep it extremely limited, it won't be a big issue. But if they keep expanding that, they're going to regret that. The recommended support formation feature is now permanent. Sure. The battle results screen has been modified to display the amount of bond points required for the next bond level up. It was also a nice thing. I think they did that like way back at the beginning of the year. This has been around a long time now. Modified to eliminate AP consumption when losing or retreating in some of the main quests. I didn't realize they did this, but good. Added a pen skill switching feature that allows you to switch pens. This is also like one of their best features that they did. We were talking about it yesterday. I can't believe they did. All right. Please improve the pity system for 4 stars. What feature added in 2024 would you like to see improved? Please choose 3 that apply.
Well, it's basically the 3 I picked. Right here. There's your pity. Chat, should I be evil? Should I be evil? Why, chat, why don't we get a 6th append? This. What was the other one that I picked? Yeah, the in-game one. Please add more in-battle details to units. What are your top 3 favorite non-game developments for Fate Grand Order that have taken place so far? I'm gonna begrudgingly say the TV animes. I think featured anime is movies and collaborations with other industries. I think that's the best thing for them. What about Fate Grand Order, and what do you like about Fate Grand Order? What are you looking forward to? Expressing feeling, replay value, casualness, popularity, music, background music, battles, strategy, craft essences, servant strengthening and spirit origin ascension, events and campaigns, new rules added for in-game events, improvements to the existing battle system, new peripheral developments outside of games, broadcasting station, radio station, learning with manga, learn about Fate Grand Order for videos, learn in 1 minute. Yeah, chat, I just checked everything except that one. What would you like to see improved about Fate Grand Order? Let's see. What else would I like to see improved? Graphics. Casualness. God, that's got a rub in some people's craw. And I'm even gonna say character as well. Not that they do a bad job, but just that, like, feel like by checking that pushes them. I'm checking the things that I want to see them like go above and beyond on. That's why I said like the illustrator, right? Maybe they'll hire more. About your Fate Grand Order gameplay, please choose one that applies to you. There was a time when I stopped playing for more than a month. There have been 2 occasions where I stopped playing for more than a month. Now I don't play anymore. Plans to return in the future. I have never stopped playing for more than a month. If you've never stopped playing for more than a month, please select I've never stopped playing for more than a month. Okay. If you've never stopped playing for more than a month, please select never stop playing for more than a month. Ah, we get the fast pass. So this is just them. It's sort of like an exit survey of like, why did you stop playing? This is interesting. You can't put a content creator as the reason why you stopped playing. I was just curious because you can put it that it's a reason for why you did. Chat, if any of you came back to the game, please check this. Do me that favor. Please check this. Please do it for me. Okay? Even if I wasn't the reason you did, please check this. Please. Please select your intention to continue with current Fate Grand Order as a whole. I want to continue playing as I have in the past. Please select your overall satisfaction with the current version of Fate Grand Order. Satisfied, no complaints. Somewhat satisfied. Yeah, no, this is the truth. Like there is some dissatisfaction. I won't deny that. No game's perfect. Oh fuck. 200 characters or less for why I rated it what I did. Would modernizing be a word that they would understand?
Chat. What's another word for modernizing something? There. I think that's the truth. Like, this is a really broad thing. They don't need to be like 1-to-1 with another gacha game. But the fact of the matter is, they're not doing a whole lot. Like, and I think they're just kind of towing the line in this regard. And I want to see them at least do something, right? Like, give us a reason to be excited for the game again. Like, so an example of this, and I'll even put this in here. Yeah. So like something like Live 2D would go a long way, right? I'll just say actually, because that might not translate well, would be good. Did I? Apparently I didn't put a space in there. We need something like that. Like something that shows that like they're not just trying to milk the fucking game. Where they're going like, hey, yeah, we're still trying to innovate. We're maybe not the fastest developers. We maybe have some issues, but we're still trying. We're still optimistic about the future. We're still doing more to make this a better game. That's what I want to see. It doesn't have to be Live 2D, but I want to see them start to broaden their horizons and not just keep tunnel visioning and pretending like the rest of the world doesn't exist. Okay? I think that's a good thing for them to do. Let's see how they handle it in the future. Please tell us which media outlets you have seen them on. FGO short videos. We have FGO shorts? I mean, like, I guess we had the TikTok channel, so I guess I did kind of know that, but I was like, I guess I'm assuming this is as to this. But I was unaware that we had a YouTube Shorts variant. Like, have they actually started uploading some of the TikTok stuff to YouTube? Because if they have, I sure as fuck haven't seen it. It's been there? Holy crap. That's not good. Like that, I'm absolutely like the target demographic, right? So how the heck am I not seeing it? But I guess because again, like I'm not necessarily watching like the Japanese side of things, so that does make a little bit of sense. Because again, like it's difficult to talk about these broadly, and each individual one's going to be different. And I don't speak a lick of Japanese, so tell us what you want in the official FGO short video. I don't want game strategy information because I don't trust them. How have you viewed FGO's live broadcasts in the past year? Whole thing in real time. %? All right, let's see. So we only got a couple more here, chat. Please tell us your satisfaction with the following sections of the official FGO live broadcast. The pre-broadcast. Honestly, I don't really have an opinion. I think like if anything, they're just like long. Somewhat satisfied information. Somewhat satisfied. Latest gaming information. I feel like they do a good job with this. I do. I think they do a really good job with that. Ending. Somewhat satisfied. How does your willingness to watch change between regular and light versions of FGO? They want to see if people watch the light version, if that's a problem. And I think it probably is. I think when, like, for instance, whenever NA does a light version, like, less people show up to my stream to watch. So, like, I do think there is a thing there. The official live stream were held with an audience. Would you watch it? I've already visited the venue and would like to visit again in the future. Yeah, I think I'd like to if I get the chance, but obviously I don't think I'd ever get the chance. I don't really have opinions on this. If you have any other expectations, opinions, or requests for Fake Granddaughter, please write them here. Oh, fuck. Honestly, I really gotta say, like, they did a great job over the last year. Like seriously, they did an actually good job, and I think this is something that they're probably not receiving enough credit for. I think in this prior year, they absolutely addressed the vast majority of issues that I had with the game. Some of them were small, and not all of them are done. But I think they actually went out there and tried to make the game as best as possible within the bounds and constraints of what it is. But they do need to be upgrading. They do need to start looking towards the future. So here it is. There you go, chat. The only things they actually need to hear. And you don't have to get super complex with it, but realistically speaking, like, you know, I can talk about things like the quick situation and everything, but this matters less to the overall state of the game. The overall state of the game really needs certain things. One of the biggest is it needs some sort of confirmation from the developers that part 3 exists. I think if they don't, there's going to be problems. Do you think they listen to NA players on the JP survey? Yes, because there are English speakers that live in Japan. I think that we really need that confirmation for honestly just shutting the doomers in the community up, and for the increased optimism and potential growth of the game. I also think they need to continue to revisit old storylines that are, again, either early FGO units or units from original Fate Stay Night and stuff like that. I think they need to stop ignoring those characters and just constantly focusing on the new. But that is the problem. If they do this, I think it will increase the game's popularity. I think the more they just keep pumping out new characters, the more people will just continue to ignore FGO. Because in a weird way, while new characters can attract people, like you saw with Snake Mommy, I think what actually a lot of the fans that are still currently playing the game want is that nostalgia. They want those old characters that they came to know and love to get more, and they don't get enough as far as I'm concerned. I think that's also a good one. It's really for the best though. I don't know. I just like, I'm okay with them releasing new characters, right? It's just, it does feel to me like for a long time they have ignored some of the original characters. Like the classic example that always comes up is like how they just constantly circle jerk the LB6 characters. And we all know and love the LB6 characters. But because they don't do anything else for any of the other characters, we're at this point where the game is just a massive LB6 circle jerk, and we basically don't have any love being given to other things. And it's not a good thing to be at that point. So I really do want them to go back and start looking into what they can do and how long it's been since they've featured some of these characters. Again, particularly if they were a popular character back in the day. I think that will actually do wonders, because I can't tell you how many of these people that, like, again, like, let's say you're a Rin fan, right? Like, you went years without a new Rin face. And so, you know, at that point, is it that they're not running a new Rin face because she's not popular? No, of course not. it's just literally they didn't get around to it for whatever stupid godforsaken reason that they had, and they even admitted this to us, that they were like, oh well, yeah, we should have done it sooner, but we didn't, sorry, oops tee hee. So I think it's like, at the end of the day, it just shows that that's not their priority, and they need to start making it more of their priority. And I'm not saying specifically like for Rin faces, I'm saying this for all characters. This is something where they need to go back and they need to look and re-examine and say, hey, are we just ignoring some of the characters that we brought into the game? And what can we do to actually give them more exposition, more spotlight, and kind of pull them back into the focus and give them that popularity? I think if they do that, that will really help. I would ask for 4-star pity here. Yeah, I can definitely ask for something like that. Like, this isn't a huge thing for me with the 4-star pity, but I know it is a thing that a lot of the community wants, so I'm happy to put it in here for you guys. I think it's like, at minimum, they need to do something. So I'm not saying that it like needs to be part of like the hard pity system, but they need to do more, because with the way the banners currently work, it just fucking sucks. Incoherent for the sake of throwing out units that might come from older parts of the franchise. Yeah, I can see that. Shisho fans realizing she hasn't gotten a major story role since America. Yeah, I mean, like, you've literally only had Scotty, and even Scotty has had like, so let's see, like out of all the things that I can remember that Shisho's included in, like base Shisho. For base Shisho, you have America, you have Summer 1, and you have was it the Land of Shadows gotcha event. For Scotty, you have LB2, you have her summer event, which was what? That's summer 6? No, we just had this. It was summer 7. Imaginary Scramble? That was OG Shisho though, wasn't it? It was OG Shisho in a swimsuit. Or was it Scotty? It was Scotty? Okay. So it's like, it's not that they haven't been featured, but they haven't done a whole lot with them. And honest to God, like, outside of like this and this, none of them were actual like prominent features. They were just another character that existed within the story. Actually, that's not true. This was the thing here too. But she's kind of low-key the reason for all of Summer 7. So, but yeah, it's like, I don't know. They definitely need to do more in that front. It was Scotty with Shisho's swimsuit. That's right. That's what they did. Because we didn't have Summer Scotty at the time. All right. So I think that's it for the survey, chat. Again, I'm happy that they do these. They need to keep doing them. They need to keep talking to their players, because like, conversation and communication with the community absolutely needs to improve. So many of the ways that they interact with the community are one-sided. So they stream something to you, they put out a video, they ask you a survey, right? Like, that is one of the few multi-sided things. Otherwise, they don't really interact. So this is one of the few times that they actually get to hear from us, and this is why I at least take them somewhat seriously, and I always try to, you guys can see, like almost game the system. I try to answer not even necessarily truthfully, but rather in a way that I think they need to hear so that the game gets better. And so it's like, even if I don't necessarily like check the box myself, I'll still check the box if I think it'll make the game better. And that's exactly why I fill these out this way. Because again, I think this feedback is invaluable to them. I don't think they necessarily get to hear from us directly very often because they don't have forums. They don't have a Discord. They don't have a real presence on social media. Because even when they do, they don't read or react to any of the social media responses. So it is very much a cloistered thing for the developers of this game, and they need to get out of their shell a little bit more and actually see what the community is saying on some of the stuff. Stop locking events behind lost belts? Nope, they can't do that. They have to lock events behind lost belts. And we could debate this, chat. You won't like the answer, but this is a developer answer. The developer has to lock events behind the lost belt because it's the only incentive for you to actually do the freaking story. If they don't lock stuff, then you'll just never do the story. And I say you as in the collective you, not like you specifically. Locking events behind lost belts will hurt new player retention? True. Also, the highest factor of player retention is probably story and story completion rate. So if you don't complete the story, you probably don't give a shit about the game, and you probably quit playing the game. So they have to do it. In a weird way, they have to like force you to. And I know that sounds wild, but like, no, I completely get where they're coming from on that. Now, that being said, I've talked about this before. This is one of the things that I think, like, if they do a part 3, they should actually like reset. So, and there are ways that you can do that. Stream lock is already released up to OC2. Yeah, people made a really big deal about like oh, you can't stream or do this. It's really not that big of a deal. We're fine. The only people that I've seen get in trouble for streaming the game aren't streaming the game. They're literally making spoiler content. And what do I mean by spoiler content? I mean, they are straight up just posting unedited videos of the story 1-to-1. It's not actual content at all. Calling it content is like a disservice to content creators everywhere. So people that are doing that are getting in trouble. Nobody else is getting in trouble. And I kind of get why they would go after that, because why play the game then? So they're trying to say like, hey, look, yeah, you can't just post all of this. Especially because some of it was machine translated, and that wasn't good for the game overall, because you guys know there have been several misconceptions that have gotten perpetuated by that over the years. So I think, yeah, it really wasn't that big of a factor. I've streamed everything that's come out on JP, and I haven't had any sort of trouble with it. Let's be fair, if they had an official Discord, how much would it be, I failed to pull on X, your game sucks? I'm sure it would, but that would be like locked to a specific channel. Like, and so that we're clear, chat, do you think that would be unique to FGO? Sure, that happens in every other gacha game Discord. But having a direct line of communication to the developers would be invaluable for this community. Like having an actual official community would be a good thing. There's also a couple of translators who had agendas with how they translated or portrayed things. I don't really know. Like I don't know personally the people that work on that stuff, so completely non-transformative content getting slapped down. Oh no. So anyway, yeah, exactly. It happens everywhere, right? But yeah, like if you don't do anything, if you don't provide any input and you upload that, yeah, I don't really care. Like I'm a-okay with them doing stuff on that. Like that's just lazy stuff anyways, and honestly that actually goes against several YouTube guidelines anyways. I prefer silence to those useless community managers other games have. You're not wrong, right? Like, I'm just saying there is no, like, so chat, if you have issues or feedback or something that you would like to tell to the developers, how do you go about doing it? How do you make your voice heard right now as a player of Fate Grand Order? You don't. This is literally the only way. The survey is the only way that they hear you. So it's like they only give out a survey once a year. So if anything happens in the next like 6 months, 12 months, you name it, right? Like anything between now and the next survey that you want to provide feedback to developers for, you have no other avenue. The best thing you can do is gnash and wail and like grit your teeth and scream on Twitter. That's it. That's the only thing. And I'm going to be honest with you, they really don't see the NA side of that. They probably only see the Japanese people and how they're reacting to things. So it is what it is. God, please, the messenger pigeons will get there eventually, I'm sure. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not gonna say like they're like it's all good if you make a Discord. I think there's a lot of drawbacks to it too. But I'd rather have the official avenue. I'd rather have the official community. And here's the other thing, chat. I would rather have the official community run by the developers and their staff rather than an unofficial community run by a bunch of miniature despots on like Reddit. Okay? I'm sorry, but it's the truth. I would 10 times rather be dealing with actual employees that are paid to be impartial rather than some dude on an ego trip on the internet. Because yeah, it doesn't mean that you won't have problems with the employee, but there's recourse if there is. Whereas the dude having an ego trip on Reddit, you can't do anything about. Even if you try to report him, you're reporting him to the moderation staff, of which he is already a member, and nothing will ever fucking happen. So it is what it is. Oh, no, I can give you a more recent and pretty much the exact same thing as what JC's saying. Chat, I don't know if y'all heard, but the news for Marvel Rivals. So they were going to do a disastrous fucking mid-season update. And because everybody got on the official Rivals Discord and complained to them about it, behold, literally within 24 hours, they reversed course. They straight up said, you know what? This is a bad decision. Here you go. Good. And I'm not going to say this hasn't happened with FGO. Happened with the 4th and the 5th append, but it literally took us screaming. Meanwhile, we never get feedback heard on anything else. And that was like, the 4th and the 5th append was finally the line in the sand that a lot of people were willing to like quit the game over. And I understand, right? It's a good thing they listened is all I can say. But yeah, the officially like having an officially run channel, the good thing. Absolutely a good thing. Why would you reset rank mid-season anyways? So the thing is, like, they wanted to do it, I'm sure, for like player retention, but everyone was screaming at them saying like, no, it already takes so long to grind. Thing is, we were also pointing out, it's like, so they give you a reward, they give you a skin, and potentially like other things if you get even higher for the first half of the season. And then they give you a skin and other rewards as well for the second half of the season. And then they're also doing a rank reset in between. And they're also doing a rank reset at the beginning of the season. So at what point, why would we call it a half season? At that point, this is season 1 and this is season 2, not season 1 and season 1.5. It's literally a whole new season at that point, if that's what you're going to do. So one thing I would like to see FGO do is continue to improve the new player experience. The new player experience is way better than it used to be. The hardest thing about the new player experience, and chat, it's the truth. Like you were just talking about it. It's like, oh, well, events are locked behind like Ordeal Call and Lost Belt. That's fine. For new players, it sucks. For new players, they have to actually get all of that story done. Meanwhile, they have everybody telling them, don't skip the story, but they have every incentive to skip the story. So the fact that there is so much story out there, hours upon hours upon hours of content that they need to get through. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's a major issue for FGO. Twitter replies could be another avenue of communication. It could, but they literally do not respond to anything on Twitter. They can go read your replies to their stuff, and that might be a way that they do it, but we just don't know because they never say anything like that. Like, we know at least to an extent they do hear it because of what happened with the 4th and the 5th append, but yeah, I don't necessarily think that that's something that they regularly pay attention to. Evocation Shop helps so much. It does. It'd be to upgrade the AP bar to be not be reliant on player level and be at less 160 to 200 when maxed out. So the only issue for that, if you were to sit here and say, all right, we're now increasing the bar from like, let's see, what is it for me right now? 146. We're going to increase this up to like 180. They can do this. The problem with this is, one, this does mean you get to go less time without playing the game, or more time without playing the game. And two, every single apple that you have that is silver or gold now gets that much more value. So this changes the overall efficiency of the game. I would not expect them to change the AP amount. Like I think within reason, this 146 will eventually get to 150, but I would not expect it to go like much higher than this. A lot of new players dislike no autoplay too. I don't know if that's good or bad. I think that's just one of the expectations of gacha games in general, but it is what it is. I mean, I say that they can dislike no autoplay all they want, but most games will force you to fight a node for the first time. So it's not even a big deal when you're going through story. The only thing it would matter for is like the redundant spending down of AP, and that's really not a big deal. A player pressed to play the game or they lose AP after 12 hours. Well, I mean, do they have any other recourse? Is there anything that a player could do if they needed to get rid of their AP, but they didn't have time to play the game? It's like I don't know. I can't think of anything. Yeah, they've said they're not going to do an NP skip. Like it's one of the few things the developers have actually come out and said they will never do an NP skip, and I don't blame them. Yes, but you know that Blue Apple was not the best solution for that problem. Well, like, what do you mean? Like Blue Apples are fine to an extent. Like there's some issues with Blue Apples, but like, for instance, was it the best thing that I could do right now? Actually, yes. Like it is literally one of the best things I could do right now. Because I already did my 3 runs for the day, and there's not really like a half cost thing for me right now to do. So like spending Blue Apples or like creating Blue Apples is actually the best thing for my AP. It's the same reason Dokkan doesn't allow you to skip super attack. Yeah. So like, look, chat. This is why I've said, like, y'all are bringing up, like, oh, but like, there's so much, like, content and stuff you have to catch up for. I agree. I do think this is a thing. But this is also why I've said, like, as you get to a part 3, they need to say, okay, that's fine, but everything part 1 and part 2 is not required then. It becomes optional. And then basically mandatory is part 3 onward. And then this all gets like, it's still here. There's still rewards for doing it, but it's no longer a requirement in order to participate in anything for part 3. And I think that's the way that you do it, because it allows for a reset. So now you don't have to do all the story all at once. Now you don't have to do it to catch up. Like, you only have to do up to part 3 for whatever things are locked to. And I think that actually works. It works on both ends if they do that. Make part 1 and 2 non-required, but don't have new nodes for their mats. Yeah, I think that's fine. Need to do Fuyuki, but can skip everything else. Yeah, if they wanted to do something like that, I think that'd be fine. Like, Fuyuki is quote unquote the tutorial, right? So unless they want to, I mean, hey, chat, is any of you going to argue if they wanted to make Fuyuki non-required and then put a new tutorial in the game for part 3? Would any of you complain? Would any of you be like, oh no, what have they done? Because, like, the tutorial in Fuyuki is ass. It is one of the shittiest tutorials I have ever seen in a video game. And at this point, I don't expect them to fix it. So if they wanted to implement a new tutorial with a new introduction chapter for part 3, fuck yeah. I wouldn't mind replaying Fuyuki. It's been so long. You can always start a new account. Sure, but if you don't do Fuyuki, you don't get the free 4 stars in it. I mean, that's fine, but that's exactly the idea, right? Like, you have the incentive to go back and do all the old part 1 and part 2 content, but you don't have to do it right now. You can put it off until whenever you decide you have the time, and that would actually be great. But we'll see, right? Like, I can come up with all of these things. I've already told you guys before, I could fix FGO, but I can fix FGO in a vacuum in which I don't have to do any of the work. So, putting all of these ideas into practice is always something that's difficult and not something that is, like, as easy as I'm making it out to be. And that's something y'all need to understand. Like, it's not as simple as, like, oh, bro, I could just fix the game and snap my fingers and it all works out just fine. There's obviously going to be issues with anything like this. And it's why I just have to say, like, I don't know. I don't know how this will go in that regard. When Pekora found some bug, but yeah, outside of that, no changes. Yeah, and it's really funny because you can tell they actually pay attention to Pekora. But this is why I said, like, they actually need to start embracing content creators and not just paid off corporate VTubers. They need to actually start like they need to start doing what other game developers are doing. They need to look at what other people are doing and say, would this benefit us? If we hired a person to take care of this, would this be a good thing? If we, like, for instance, if we put someone not just in charge of posting shit to social media, but now also responding to questions and concerns on social media, that would probably go a long way, right? Like, at that point, yeah, you have a little bit of a community manager, but who cares, right? Same thing with, like, you could have a content creation liaison. You could run a lot of this stuff through a Discord. You could also end up having, more of a direct line of communication, or even posting things like dev diaries and little snippets to the Discord in the effort of driving it and getting people to go there and operate within the bounds of your community. So I think there's a lot that they can do that will really help drive interest in the game, and they're just not doing any of it right now. I'd be okay with them holding off on part 3 for a bit to do major improvements to the game. The problem with that is they've already been holding off, it feels like. Right now, FGO kind of feels content where it is. And I do agree, and I think that's one of the problems. Like, FGO is just coasting. It's not really doing anything. It's just moving along the line, ever marching forward, but it's not trying to climb a hill. It's not like doing anything special. It's not taking the scenic route or anything like that. It's just it's headed right to its destination, whatever that destination may be. So it's like I want to see the game try just a little bit more. I feel like they've been doing a good job of addressing a lot of the community concerns over the past year. Let's hope that they continue that this year. And to be fair, this year, you know, they've done some interesting stuff already so far. But I haven't seen like the huge litany of like buffs and stuff that we got last year. I haven't seen that they're necessarily going to continue a lot of this. I think their focus right now is actually on getting Ordeal Call done, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think like that's actually good that they're going to kind of focus up on that. But we'll see kind of where they go from here. FGO knows it's got it made and it's kind of using that. See, I don't want to get doomer, but if FGO refuses to innovate, if FGO just continues to try and try and subsist and just keep kind of doing the norm and not doing anything extra or special, FGO will slowly begin to decline. And I say this, I do think the game already to some degree has declined in its player population. I think less people are playing FGO overall nowadays compared to how it used to be. FGO is certainly not at its peak in terms of popularity anymore. And I can attest to that purely from a content creation standpoint. The numbers are not what they used to be. So it's like, that's not me trying to be doomer. That's me stating kind of the obvious and me wanting them to reverse course. Me wanting them to say, you know what? Let's actually try again. Let's go out here. Let's try to grow the game. Let's try to fix its reputation. Let's try to do something new. See if we can turn some heads. See if we can get some new blood in here and actually make the game, you know, pop off again. And I think that'd be good for it if it did. Thanks to Blue Apples is really easy to coast. And once you're coasting, it's all easier to stop. Yeah. All right, chat. I'm going to go ahead and end it here for tonight. Thank you guys for watching. We went way longer on the survey than I expected to, but it's fine. And again, I will see you guys tomorrow.